everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Tent Up Kettle On. I'm your host Casey, and this is my little furry co-host Rue. So today's episode is called Solo But Not Lonely, and I'm going to be kind of addressing the misconceptions of solo camping really, and just letting everybody know sort of my views on what solo camping is and why solo doesn't necessarily mean lonely. But yeah, grab a blanket, grab a brew, get cosy and settle down for the episode. So I have purchased some new microphones, as you might be able to see here. So I'm really hoping that the audio might be a little bit better for you all, because that is some feedback that I've had, that the audio isn't necessarily brilliant on all of the episodes. So yeah, new microphones, so fingers crossed that they are going to be okay for you all. Let me know what you all think in the comments. But yeah, so today's episode, I'm not going to lie, I'm actually filming this on the day that it goes out. It is the 17th of January today, I think. My watch normally tells me, but it's not telling me at the moment. Let me have a little look. Yeah, 17th of January, and it is 9 o'clock in the morning. So I am filming this episode on the day that it goes out. I hope that you've all had a really amazing week. If nobody's told you yet this week, I'm proud of you, no matter what you've done. But yeah, this week I had a trauma in my car, the first time in the 2 years, just over 2 years that I've been driving. I was driving home from work on Tuesday evening, and the car in front of me sort of swerved, and I didn't know why it had swerved. I couldn't swerve. There was a car next to me. I was on a dual carriageway, 50-mile-an-hour road, car next to me, car behind me, double mattress in the middle of the road on my side of the road. So you can imagine what happened next. Hit the mattress. Where are you off to? Hit the mattress, got wedged under my car, phoned my dad to come and rescue me. Luckily I was only 10 minutes away from home, so he did come and rescue me, and he was there quite quickly. So yeah, came and rescued me, and we managed to get the mattress out from underneath my car, and luckily my car was absolutely fine and I was okay as well. So yeah, very grateful for that. Let me know if you've had any highlights or lowlights of your week. That wasn't very necessarily camping related, but I just felt like I needed to chat about that, because it was, at the time it wasn't funny, but when I think back about it now, a mattress underneath my car, like of all the things, a mattress, that's like the most random thing. Why was there a mattress in the middle of a dual carriageway? I don't know, and I probably never will, but here we are. It is still at the side of the road, because obviously double mattress, I couldn't do anything with it, so it's out of the way. It's behind the barrier on the grass at the side of the road. We have phoned the council to let them know that it's there, but this is Coventry City Council, so who knows if it could still be there in 3 years time, let's be honest. But yeah, like I say, not camping related, but just wanted to give you all a laugh. Like I say, let me know if you've had any particular highlights or lowlights of your week. But yeah, like I said, grab a blanket, grab a brew, let's cozy down for the episode and lock in. So today I want to talk about being solo but not lonely, because to me they are two different things. Very much like, to me, loneliness and solitude mean completely different things. For me, loneliness is more heavy and it feels unintentional and a bit forced, and like you have no other option but to be lonely. Whereas to me, solitude is more chosen and it's intentional, and you feel like it is something that you want to do rather than something that you are being forced into. Because when you go solo camping, obviously for me, I'm not solo. So Rue's right in front of the camera. Your big head is right in front of the camera, monkey. Yeah, to me, being solo is something that I choose to do. And I feel like that was another thing I wanted to talk about, is the way society treats you, because they almost take pity on you. Like when you go camping on your own, it's like other people think you've probably not chosen to do that. They probably think that you've got no one else to be with, so you've had to go on your own. Whereas for me, I've chosen to go on my own, and I've chosen to have that time on my own, to whether it's to reset my brain or just take some time out from the world, or have some time off of social media and just be in the middle of a field and going back to basics, although my camping setup isn't very basic, as we've already established. But just I think we really need to have a shift in the way that society sees us as solo campers, because obviously I've spoken about before how lovely the camping community is, and I don't want that to change, because I love how supported you feel when you solo camping. But you also do sometimes feel like people are taking pity on you a little bit. Like when I went camping on my own for the first time, people sort of took me in, which I was very grateful for, because I knew that if anything did happen, I had people there to go to for help. But at the same time, I think that sometimes you want to be on your own, and I did sort of like, I'd chosen to go solo camping because I wanted to be on my own. I didn't mind going and having a drink with them. It was really lovely. But at the same time, I'd bought myself a bottle of wine. I just wanted to sit there and read my book, and I was quite happy to do that. And I think people look at you and they think, oh, young girl on her own with a dog, in a tent, she's on her own, bless her. That's not the case. That is really not the case. Like, I am more than happy. I prefer to be on my own in my tent, because I know where all of my little things are. And that's another thing. I think when I get to a pitch and I set everything up and everything has its little place, and my bed goes up and my bedding goes on, and as you can see, I have got some new bedding. This is some teddy fleece bedding that I'm trying out. This is going to be my new camping bedding, but I'm just trying it out at home just for now. I did get quite hot last night, which is good, because in the tent it will keep us nice and warm, won't it, Riri? But yeah, get into a camp, pitching up, putting everything in its little space just takes the emptiness away, and it makes me feel so cozy and warm. Not always physically, but it just makes you feel so nice to have everything set up and just have that mindset of you're not lonely, you're just on your own. And I think changing your mindset and changing the way that you talk about it as well does really it does really help. Because if you say like, yeah, I'm going camping and it's going to be lonely because I'm going to be on my own, that's the first mistake, because talking about it like that is putting you in the complete wrong mindset. If you say to someone, yeah, I'm going camping on my own, it's going to be great, going solo camping with my dog, without my dog, whatever you're doing, I'm taking my book, I'm taking my music, my podcast, my audiobooks, whatever it is you're taking with you. And that's another thing, having a book, audiobook, podcast, movie, show, whatever is your preference, putting your earphones in or just listening to that, again, it makes it feel like someone's there with you, and it just takes out that whole lonely feeling. For me, sort of when I think about campsite dynamics, I think a lot of families and groups of people, because when I've been camping on my own, I've never spotted another solo camper, actually, ever, which for me it's quite sad, because I want to spread awareness about solo camping, and I want to share the joy of it as well, because it's such a brilliant thing to just go and reset your brain, or just go, and I'm even planning this year like a little solo camping work retreat. So I'm planning to go for sort of a long weekend. I'm hoping to do like a Thursday to Sunday, because I don't work Friday, so I can go after work on a Thursday, pitch up, and then leave on a Sunday. That's what I'm hoping to do. And I'm hoping to do like a little work retreat, so I can go take all my work and just really lock in and get things done. Because when you're at home, there's so many distractions and so many other things to be doing, whether it's cleaning, tidying, sorting, whatever it is. All of those distractions are there Whereas when you are in your tent in the middle of a field, there's nothing else to do other than go on walks or, you know, stuff like that, which is really good for taking time out. So I am planning this year to do a little camping retreat. So when that is a bit more set in stone, I will talk about that as well. And we never know, there could be some vlogs pending in the future. I have got a trip to the caravan and camping show booked at the NEC in February, so I'm hoping to sort of do like a little vlog of that day. I don't know how long it'll be or anything, because I am a bit awkward about filming in public, but we'll see how it goes. Even if I just do voiceovers, then we'll see. But yeah, if anyone else is going, I'm going to the caravan and camping show on the Friday. I think it's the 19th, I believe. I'll be there with my mum and dad. But yeah, if anyone spots me at the caravan and camping show, please come and say hi. It'd be lovely to meet some other solo campers. Let me know if you're planning on going to the caravan and camping show. For me, it's only about half an hour away, so it's not that far at all. I'm very lucky that I do live quite close to the NEC. So yes, now I've lost my train of thought because I started talking about the caravan and camping show and I don't know what I was talking about before then. So we'll move on. We'll go on to a new topic, shall we? That's what I was talking about. The dynamic of campsites. Yeah, I've never seen solo campers before, and it's something that I really wish more people would do, especially younger people, because for me, I'm 19. I am not the type of person to go out drinking every weekend. You know, I enjoy it. Sometimes I enjoy going out, having a party, whatever, but it's not me. I would much prefer to go and pitch my tent up in the middle of a field and sit with a bottle of wine or a brew and just enjoy the time to myself and my dog. I wish that there were more solo campers. I do wish that more people had the confidence to do it, because I know since I've started this podcast, there's been so many people that have either commented or got in touch with me and said that they've wanted to go camping on their own, but they've not had the confidence to do it. And I just wish that I could just get loads of females together and just say to everyone, you can do this, because you can. Everyone is capable of doing it, and people are so scared and I think people are so scared because of what society thinks and what other people think. And I think that's one thing that we need to sort of start trying to break down the barriers for, is about what other people think, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And those people on that campsite, you're probably never going to see them again. And that's sort of the mindset that I now have. Those people that walk past your tent and think, oh my God, that girl's on her own, whether they think that in a good way or a bad way, you are never going to see them again. So prove to them that you can be there on your own and have a great time. That's my mindset anyway. And I think, personally, that's quite a good mindset to have, because I just think that if you're going to go on your own, do it. Like, go out with a bang, you know. Go have a brilliant time, show people that you're having a brilliant time, and just prove everyone wrong. Because when you tell people that you're camping on your own, either there's two responses that you get. It's either, I could never do that, or oh, I wish I could do that. And the I could never do that are people that are probably jealous, and the people that say, I wish I could do that, I love talking to, because I can then have a conversation with them and say, well, why can't you? Why do you wish you could? And why at the minute you think you can't? And I love having that mindset chat with people and just trying to help them and encourage them to go and try it. And because I know probably 90% of the time, once people have tried it, they're going to love it. There's also the thing of being alone being surrounded, because when you're camping on your own, most of the time there's going to be other people there. So you're going to be there on your own, whether it's with the dog or without. You're going to be there, and at night you're going to hear the chatter of other people, the tents nearby, and that does really bring me comfort as well, knowing that there are other people around me, because I've spoken about it before, the camping community is brilliant. So knowing that there are other people around me in the event of an emergency or in the case of something going wrong, there are other people that are going to come and help you. And that for me does bring me great comfort. And that was another thing I wanted to talk about, was comfort as well, because it's not failure to take comfort in things. So whether that's putting the kettle on and making a brew, or phoning someone from home just to have that familiar voice, or getting your dog and having a cuddle, or, you know, going somewhere familiar for the first time or the first few times, that's not failure at all. And actually I think that that's a really good idea, because especially the first few times that you do it, it gives you that little, every time you get a little bit more confident, and eventually it builds and builds and builds and builds to the point where you get to that point where you're like, actually, I feel like I can go somewhere new, or I don't have to phone people from home so often, you know. Or, I mean, I always put the kettle on, so that's a given. But just knowing that taking comfort in those things isn't failure, for me, that's a really big thing, because you know, when I'm camping on my own, in fact, that's a video that I want to make for YouTube and TikTok. When I am camping on my own, I probably phone my mum 20 times a day, but that's fine. Like, I don't ever think that's a bad thing. Like, I'm never there like, oh, I can't phone my mum because I only phoned 10 minutes ago. I'm like, hello, me again. Like, and it just brings me that comfort. Just, it's more to know that she knows that I'm okay as well, and that she, you know, and I know she's okay as well. And it's just hearing that familiar voice. When you start to get that anxious feeling, hearing a familiar voice can really help to settle you. So that's one big thing that I'd say to people is, definitely tell someone that you're going on your own for safety, and also let people have your location, just again for safety. Have someone that you trust, whether it's a friend or a family member. Let them have your location, let them know where you're going, let them know where you're going to be at all times, just so that they have that, and they know, sort of, if they don't hear from you for a day or whatever, then, you know, they can just check in with you, and make sure that you're checking in with people as well, just so that they know you're safe, and you have the peace of mind that somebody else knows where you are if something did happen. One of the biggest things for me about being alone but being surrounded is the smell of other people's cooking. You know, like in the morning when you wake up and you smell bacon cooking, that's camping goals, that is. Normally I'm the first one, actually, because I am awake quite early. But you know, when you just go out in the morning go to the toilet blocks or whatever it might be, take the dog out, like the smell of people cooking their breakfast in the morning, or in the evening, the smell of a barbecue or whatever it is, or the smell of like a campfire, brilliant, 10 out of 10. Like, that's one thing. And it makes you feel less alone as well, because you know that there are other people there, and all of these other people there have the same interest as you. They have the same interest of being in the outdoors, being in a caravan or a tent, wherever, whatever it is, or a van. They have that same thought process as you, which is really good, because when you're on your own, it makes you feel less alone. So for me, I do have a few little rituals that make solo time feel good, and it puts that positive onto it. So it's that association of being on your own, and associating that with a positive thing, rather than being on your own and associating that with being lonely or being a negative thing. So for me, my little solo cozy rituals are putting the kettle on and making a brew, having a blanket nearby, journaling as well for me is a big thing. I have a journal that I do every evening, and I also have some little camping journals to fill in whilst I'm camping as well, of sort of like the site, the setup, the weather, everything like that, just so that I can look back and find good sites and things that maybe sites that I maybe wouldn't go back to or anything. Also taking pictures, whether that is, I need to move my leg off, my legs have gone dead. Taking pictures, whether that is of my setup or of Rue. I've got 1,000,001 photos of Rue on my phone, but yeah, I always take a photo of my setup as well, so that I remember how everything goes, number one, but number two, I take photos of my setup so that when I'm not camping, I can look back at them and remember how much I miss it, because I do. But yeah, another little ritual I have is just sitting in silence and just having that time. I have a playlist, so technically it's not silence. Brew, why are you crying, Baba? I have a camping playlist, and it's just all of my favourite songs, some throwbacks, you know, just it's nothing specific to camping, but it's just songs that I find comfort in. And just sitting with those songs with a brew out, whether it's outside or in the tent, and just taking in the surroundings. Your big head's in the way again, monkey. There's also they're like the little rituals that I have, but then I also have like sounds that I find comfort in, and like sounds that keep me company in a weird way. So the main one is Roo snoring or crying or barking, because he's always making a noise. So whether that's his squeaky toy or you know, him snore, like he does snore, he does. So the dog snoring is a really comforting sound for me. But also sort of the sound of zips, like, oh, the sound of a tent zip just makes me feel so cozy, so happy. Like, it just brings such a smile to my face, like this zzz, zzz, in the morning or at night, or oh, it's just brilliant. But also the sound of the birds. If it ever rains, I love the sound of rain on my tent. Like, that is one thing that just brings me such joy. Like, I don't like being out in the rain. I prefer it when it's sunny when I'm camping, but the sound of rain at night on your tent, like, can be a bit scary, especially if it's windy at the same time. But yeah, the sound of rain on the tent, or the sound of, like, I've pitched up next to like a waterfall, not a waterfall, like a little stream before, and the sound of that was really comforting as well for me. And it's just finding those little things that they're all personal to you. So it's finding the little things that you find comfort and that you find bring you joy, and just going from there, really. One thing about being on your own is the food. So I would say that you don't have to share, but when you have a dog, you always have to share. Nothing's ever sacred, especially with Roo. But yeah, being on your own, definitely easy meals. So for me, my go-to is pasta, because you just pop it on, pop your water on to boil. I take some little stirring sauces, you're good to go. Cook some sausages, pop some sausages in, or some chicken, or whatever it might be. One thing I am really excited for is I've bought a little air fryer for my tent. I bought that from Lidl, but I bought it at the end of the season, so I haven't actually tried that out in the tent yet. I have tried it in the house just to make sure it works and stuff, but yeah, I'm very excited for that. So as soon as the tent gets up, the first meal I make, I'm going to make sure can be in the air fryer. But yeah, like when you're on your own, having those little snacks as well. So like for me, original Pringles are my go-to, so making sure that you have your favourite snacks so that at night you can just sit, have a little munch, watch some movies, watch your favourite things, just making it feel more homely, because doing all the things that you would normally do at home, having a few of those things in the tent with you will bring you such comfort and such joy as well, which I think is always a good idea to have. So I've got some little funny misconceptions about solo camping that I just wanted to sort of talk about. They are things that I've just come up with that are like little quotes that people say, or that people have said to me in the past. So the first one is, you must hate people. Yes, I do. Not all people, but one of my big things is I always, if I go somewhere really busy, I always go, oh, it's too peoply here. And I don't hate people, but I just would much prefer to be somewhere on my own than be somewhere with 50,000 people. Personal preference, really. I can be quite a sociable person, but at the same time, my social battery does run out quite quickly. So once that social battery is gone, it's done. That's the end for me. The second one is, you must be super confident. No, absolutely not. I am the least confident person you will ever meet, and going to a solo camp, I never have any confidence. I spend the whole drive there a nervous wreck, and I spend the week before a nervous wreck, and I get anxiety belly, and I get all the anxious things, and I've been to so I have to travel for college a couple of times a year, and the last time that I actually went to college, I stay in a B&B. The owners of this B&B are absolutely lovely. They know I'm on my own, but going to this B&B on my own means that I don't have Rue. Rue is my comfort. The last time I went there, I was staying there for 2 nights. The first night, I just felt really churned up and really unsettled, and I phoned my mum and I FaceTimed her for about 2 hours, and I did have a little bit of a panic attack, and that's okay. That is okay. She helped me calm down. I made a cup of tea. I popped on some YouTube, my favourite comfort people, and I just sat with that feeling, and I just sort of wrote down why I was feeling that way. And actually, when you write down why you're feeling that way, it helps you get to the bottom of it a little bit more. What are you trying to do? Rue loves this bedding, can I just say? He absolutely loves it. It's so fluffy and soft, but he snuggles right into it, and I think that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to put his nose down the gap. But yeah, having those anxiety feelings are completely normal, and going back to the point of being confident, I'm absolutely not confident. I have no confidence in myself, but that's okay, because once I'm there, it starts to build, and it's the little quiet confidence moments that I've spoken about before. But yeah, so to address that one, no, I'm not super confident. The third one is you must be lonely all the time. Absolutely not. I'm not lonely. I am happy, and I'm happy on my own and with Rue, and yeah, I never really feel lonely, to be honest, when I'm solo camping. I think because I have all those little comforting things, and I do plan. So I think this is another thing to help you feel less lonely, is planning. So if you're okay, you've got a little cough. Sorry about that. I think planning, yes. Planning your day. So first thing I do in the morning, wake up, make a brew, and sit and plan my day. Whether it's mentally, on my notes, on a piece of paper, wherever it is, or talking to Rue and telling him what we're going to do today, because I do talk to him like he's a human. He's my baby, so don't judge me. So I'll wake up, make a brew, and then I'll sit and think, right, what do I want to do today? And whether that is just stay and read my book, or go out for some food, or go to the beach and take Mr. Man for a walk, whatever it might be. Just planning your day is 100% the best thing to do. I lost my train of thought then. One thing about me is I think that I have an ADHD brain. So I haven't been diagnosed or anything, but the way that my brain works, and after a lot of research, I do believe that I have an ADHD brain. So please bear with me if I lose my train of thought or I forget what I'm saying. Yeah, that. The last one, the last misconception that I'm going to address is you must be fearless. Absolutely not. I have fear. Again, I've spoken about it in the confident one. I have fear in everything. I'm always anxious. I'm always scared. I'm always worried. That's okay. I just go with it, and just... Why are you biting your foot? Why are you biting your foot? I just go with it and sit with those feelings of anxiety and worry and fear, and just know that they're okay and that they will pass eventually, and that I'm safe, and I just reassure myself that I am safe. I think one of the best things for me about solo camping is making all my own decisions. So I choose when I eat, I choose where I want to go that day, I choose the pace that I want to take the day at, I choose when I want to go to sleep, whether that's 7 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning. I can choose when I want to do things. And I think for me, having that control over my own life, I mean, I can make decisions for myself at home. I'm not saying that I'm being controlled at home or anything like that, but I think just that taking things as the day comes, it just completely clears your brain, because at home you have to think, right, I need to do this, and I need to do that, I need to do this, I need to do that. Whereas when you're there, you're just like, do you know what? I'm hungry. I'm going to eat now. I'm tired. I'm going to go to sleep now. You don't have to be thinking ahead of things all the time. Like, I know I said about planning, and that's just for me. I like to have a plan in place, but you don't always have to be like, I'm going to eat at this time, I'm going to go to sleep at this time. And you don't have to have a set plan. When I say plan, I just mean put a few loose ideas out there of what you want to do for the day. You don't have to be like, I'm going to go to the beach at this time, I'm going to go for lunch at this time. It's just that freedom of just letting the wind take you wherever you want to go that day. Yeah, I think just to sort of almost recap everything, I feel like I've waffled a lot today, so I'm really sorry if this episode's been really boring. But one of the biggest benefits of solo camping for me is just spending some time with myself, just having me time and enjoying my own company, and learning to enjoy my own company, and learning to switch my brain off and just, turn it off, close off, done. So yeah, I mean, it's my message to you from this episode. If you take one thing away from this episode, it's okay to be on your own, and it's okay to enjoy your own company, and have that feeling of being okay on your own. It's also okay if others don't understand why you are going solo camping or why you like to spend time on your own, because not everybody is going to share the same views and opinions as you, and that's okay too. So just your opinions are the most valid opinions, and that's all that matters. I think that's the main point of this, is that you need to look after yourself and put yourself first. So I just wanted to say thank you all for spending time with me today. I'm sorry if this has been a really boring, long, waffly episode. Like I say, I've got some things coming up that I am planning, but at the moment most of these episodes are going to be filmed here just because of the weather outside. But I hope you've all had an amazing week, and I hope you've all enjoyed listening. Thank you for spending the time with me, and if you've had a hot drink, I hope you enjoyed it tonight. But yeah, next week, hopefully episode 4 will be out on next Saturday at 6 p.m. So yeah, until then, if you've got any questions or anything that you'd like to comment, please do that. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe and like the video, because it does just give me that little confidence boost that people are enjoying the videos. So please do that. Go over and follow me on Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. My Instagram and TikTok are at tentupkettleon.pod, and on Facebook you can find me at tentupkettleon. Yeah, please go and drop me a follow. I'm nearly at I think I'm just over 400 followers on Facebook at the moment. So it would be lovely to get to 500 friends on there. That would be brilliant. But yeah, if you've got anything you'd like me to chat about next time, please let me know. My inbox is always open if anyone wants to talk about any fears or worries that they might have about solo camping as well. Please feel free to message me on Facebook or Instagram. They're probably the best ways to find me. Or you can email me as well. I do have an email address, which is tentupkettleon.pod@outlook.com. Feel free to drop me an email, and I will try my best to get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, just until next time, have the confidence in yourself. Sit with the feelings of solitude. Don't use the word lonely because it changes your mindset. And yeah, until next time, tent up, kettle on. You're doing just fine. See you soon.